Hello there, and welcome back to Jello Devlog. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the difference between making a prototype and making a product, and about how I started the foundation for Jello. Last time when we left off, Jello looked like this. And I liked it a lot, but we all have to agree that was more like an idea of a game than an actual game. It was pretty good for a prototype, but I had to think about how to turn it into a real product. During my time at uni, I tried to do that multiple times, but I failed again and again. You see, I was studying as a programmer. And being the programmer that I was, I thought I need to have a custom engine for the game. Oh, I'm gonna have it on a PS4. Oh, I'm gonna program all this cool stuff. And don't get me wrong, programming is very cool. I like programming. But you have to set a goal for yourself. And at some point, I realized that my point was the game. And I need to focus on making the game. When I realized that focus for myself, I clearly saw the tool that I should have been using way from the start. For me, it was Unity. And it doesn't have to be your tool of choice, but it is my tool of choice. I knew that I already knew it pretty well, and I could use it right away. Don't reinvent the wheel, and don't reinvent yourself. Don't make the tools that already exist. Try to use the ones that are there for you already. They're probably way better than what you're gonna make anyway. And don't reinvent yourself. Just choose the tools that you already worked with. There's no need to learn something new right now if your goal is to make the game. Okay, so we've got the game idea and we've got the tools. Let's start going at it. Make the player movement, add more levels, more features, mechanics, all that stuff. No. First, before even starting to remake the player movement, I made the foundation of the game. So I hear you asking, what do you mean a foundation of a game? Your game engine is your foundation, right? Sure, but that's not quite what I'm talking about here. Imagine this situation. You have a player, and your player has some health. There's UI that shows the player health, there's things that damage the player, or power-ups, whatever, nameless things that interact with this one thing called health. And all of these things need to know about each other, right? What usually happens if you don't think through this beforehand is what we call spaghetti. So you can deal with this problem in multiple different ways, and I'm not the one to tell you which ones are right and which ones are wrong, but I made my choice. It's based on this YouTube video, and if you want to see more details, just go there, but I'm gonna explain the basics. Let's imagine our scenario with player health. You have the player and you attach a component to it, which is health. When things need to change the health, they call that component, or when the UI needs to display the health, it also communicates to that. But if you do it like that, there's one problem. What if there is no player, and there is no health? And UI is still there, what is it gonna display? Usually it's gonna give you a null error, because health is not there, and it's all just gonna error out. You can try to add in things to like check if the player is there, and if there's two players then do so and so, but it quickly turns into a mess. How I deal with this problem is a thing I call smart variables. What I end up with is a variable that is already there, that is player health. It is not in the scene, it is stored in the assets. And no matter if the UI is there or not, and the player is there or not, it's always there. Scripts communicate to each other without even knowing about each other's existence through this one variable. I'm not gonna go much more into detail. If you want, you can look the full video or look at the source code of smart variables available on GitHub. Having this architecture at the start really helped me later on. I use smart variables all throughout my project, and I twist and turn my code using them in so many ways. It's great. Going forward with the development, I made sure to see those points where before making a feature, I had to make a system for it. That is the case with levels and the level editor. Although there's a lot to say there, and we're gonna leave that for the next episode. For this episode though, I think we're gonna have to wrap it up here, so make sure to join me in the next one. Let me know in the comments if there are certain parts that you are more interested in, and see you in the next one. Was that unified, I guess? Okay.
That was good. That was good.